All right, let's keep going with the second video of our two-part video series on the patch for Helldivers 2 1.000.3. Let's get to it. Taking a look at stratagems, some of the changes there. The machine gun sentry is getting increased health to match other sentries. I don't think a lot of people still use the machine gun sentry. The Gatling generally does a better job because of its rapid fire. The Tesla Tower increasing health by 33%. I don't know a lot of people that use the Tesla Tower, but perhaps now. The RL-77 Airburst Rocket Launcher. This is the new stratagem that was just unleashed upon us earlier this week. It will no longer detonate when shot near stratagems such as the HMG turret, sentries, resupplies, etc., and other Helldivers. It is also getting a reduced proximity radius. I don't think this is going to affect a lot of folks because I don't think a lot of folks have really used it a lot. So changes now is better than letting us get used to it and then changing it later, as we know. All right, turning to enemies. Balancing adjustments have been made to the following. Bile Spewer and Nursing Spewers, their move speed has slightly reduced. For the Hulks, on the bot side, the Hulks, the force required for them to stagger has been slightly increased. You're going to need to nail them a couple of more times in order to get them to stagger. The Hulk Scorcher direct flamethrower damage is being reduced by 20%, which is a godsend. Because that's almost that's a death sentence right there. Quick tip, if you haven't figured this out for yourself yet, as soon as you get burning, as soon as you see those flames on your Helldiver, hit the ground. Dive, and that will help mitigate the damage there. Of course, hit yourself with a stim as soon as possible as well. Hopefully, this will no longer one-shot you when the Hulks hit you with their flamethrowers. Devastator fire rate has slightly increased, but only the standard Devastators. Gunship's sideways movements slightly increased. That's not great for people like me who, again, cannot hit the broadside of a barn. But we will adapt. We will overcome and adapt. The Scout Strider Riders are now less vulnerable to explosions. You're still going to need to shoot them in the side. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Fog Generators' health and armor increased, and the gunship spawners now have a much lower cap on how many gunships they can have active at the same time. This is another hallelujah moment because nobody likes 8 or 10 gunships in the air. Come on, Joel. This is a big one. They have changed the spawn rate for enemy patrols, but only for groups of less than 4. Let me read exactly what it says here. We unintendedly had non-linear scaling of the patrol spawns, so they didn't spawn as often as they should when they have less than 4 players. The intention is that 1 player has 1/4 of the patrols compared to 4 players, but it has been 1/6 of the patrols. So they have done some adjustments to the patrol spawning, and now it has been increased when there are fewer than 4 players. The fewer the players, the bigger the change. For 4-player missions, no change to the number of patrols that spawn. The biggest noticeable change will be for the solo players at higher difficulties. Prepare yourselves, solo divers. You will run into more patrols, which means that you may need to avoid more rather than try and wipe them all out. We all love a good patrol ambush. Who doesn't love a good patrol ambush? Nothing greater than dropping something from Eagle 1 on top of patrol and wiping them out and then continuing on your merry way. Now you may need to carry a different stratagem or just avoid them altogether if you're solo diving. Gameplay changes. They've made minor level generation improvements in how they distribute locations throughout the mission map. This should improve variation in distance between objectives, and objectives will likely not spawn as far away from each other as often as before. It's still going to happen, but every now and again, you're going to get a map where 2 of your side objectives or 2 of your minor objectives for your primary are a little closer together. So that will be nice, but it will mean some slightly different tactics on our side. They have added a setting in the options menu gameplay. Another hallelujah moment in Helldivers 2. They have added a setting in the options menu gameplay section to disable automatic climbing and vaulting while sprinting. Is there a diver out there who has not run up on a resupply drop only to find yourself suddenly on top of that resupply drop and having to drop back down and then pick up your supplies? We're always sprinting in this game, so this is amazing, and it's in your go into your options under gameplay and turn off that automatic climbing and vaulting. The Spread Democracy mission, we alluded to this at the very beginning of the video. The Spread Democracy mission, otherwise known as the Raise the Flag mission, can now be enjoyed on higher difficulties for maximum freedom spreading. When readying up, the Helldivers now salute to ensure maximum democratic readiness. This will be a visual clue to those of us who are somewhat clueless that we haven't readied up yet, and everybody's waiting. They have added some ambiance to the Tremor planetary hazard to underline the severity so that Helldivers can react accordingly. I am interested to find out what exactly that means. And shots that ricochet from heavy armored enemies will now properly hit the Helldiver who fired them. I'm not excited about that at all. If I'm shooting downrange and I am trying to just hit the head of that guy in front of me, I don't want the bullets coming back at me. This is not good. Trigger discipline is highly recommended. New strategies are necessary, Helldivers. We are constantly evolving. All right, let's look at some of the fixes that they have done and supplied to us through this patch. There are numerous crass fixes. There are no crash fixes. However, there are numerous crash fixes, and they are listed here or here. I forget now that I'm partway through recording this. But you can see a bunch of crash fixes there. They have fixed some of the ship modules as well, and they have fixed an issue where the players could not navigate to the search results in the social menu. Some issues where items equipped in a war bond were not actually equipped. An exploit that allowed overeager Helldivers to use grenades excessively. They also fixed an issue where kills from the orbital barrage did not progress indirect fire exercise orders. They fixed an issue that allowed traders to sabotage the extraction shuttle by deploying sentry stratagems below it. Guys, Pelican 1 already has a hard enough job. All right, let's show some respect. That's fixed an issue where ion storms incorrectly prevented extraction beacon from deploying. That's a horrible, horrible time. So I'm glad they fixed that. Some stratagem beams using the incorrect color coding. Fixed an issue where the left stick on a controller could not be used to navigate the social menu. Fixed some issues where various UI elements were cut off or off-centered or too close to the edge of the screen on ultra-wide displays. A couple of fixes for the anti-materiel rifle, where they whether it's facing away from you when you first call it down, or duplicating rounds, or consuming an extra magazine after a canceled reload. They fixed a bug with the recoilless rifle, where it would consume an extra shell from the backpack if the reload was canceled just after a shell was inserted, but before the reload was completed. Sort of an animation cancel issue there. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing, and I can't count the number of times I have been angry at this. They have finally fixed an issue where the sickle and the quasar cannon could not shoot through foliage. There is no more indestructible foliage. Hallelujah. Fixed several issues where weapon thumbnails would disappear when scrolling through the armory. Fixed issues where automaton gunships sometimes could not see the player. That makes me sad. Fixed incorrect collision being left over after destroying automaton bunkers or detector towers with hell bombs. Basically, you're running into stuff that isn't there, or you're climbing over stuff that isn't there anymore. Sometimes getting stuck on those same issues. Fixed an issue where hell bombs would not deploy on certain missions, and that is also a horrible, horrible time to be alive. Fixed certain issues that resulted in Helldivers drowning in deep water upon landing. Also fixed an issue where Hellpod space optimization made ammo go above capacity. They fixed an issues where stalkers became very visible in the fog. This makes me sad. Mines are now pingable for better coordination with your team. This makes me happy. Receiving friend requests now gives the player a pop-up. That's awesome. Improved readability of prompts and hints displayed in the tutorial and onboarding. The total experience is now available in the career tab. This is the career tab where you can see all of your stats, the number of missions that you've done, the total number of kills that you've done, the total number of deaths you've had, etc., etc., etc. Ultra-wide monitors are getting a fix or two. Keybinds bound to the numpad will no longer reset upon restart. Inconsistent audio when headphones are plugged into the DualSense controller while playing on PC. Playing rock, paper, scissors in front of the ship no longer causes the player to fall out into space. That's pretty nice. The anti-material rifle, the heavy machine gun now trigger hit markers while scoped in. Secondary weapon no longer remains in the ballistic shield ADS position after using a stim with the ballistic shield backpack option. Equipped. Open text chat is now rebindable. It doesn't have to be set on the enter key for keyboard. I'm not sure what it is on controller. Let me know below what it is. Spread the knowledge, folks. Explosive weapons such as the eruptor, the exploding crossbow, the grenade pistol no longer pulls players inward from the blast. They're no longer sucking you in, and that's also pretty good. They disabled the squad invites during the tutorial, which caused an overlap in the UI. They fixed primary and secondary weapons overlapping on the character model in the armory. UI elements have been fixed during the first boot when they're cut off on a 21:9 aspect ratio monitor. Report and block player is now visible in the squad menu. Dead scavengers now stop screaming for help if killed while calling in reinforcements. We've also fixed the anti-air cannons showing up as stratagem scramblers in danger warnings, and they added reload stage for the spear. Reload after the spent missile has been discarded. I'm going to put a list of the known issues up here on the screen somewhere, and you guys can have a look at them, pause the video if you need to read them. But I mostly want to mention that the devs have made it very clear and on some social media posts as well as in their Discord that they are trying to balance out fixing bug issues as well as trying to bring us new content. So they know about these issues. They're working on them as time allows. At the same time, they have a schedule to release new things for the game, new missions, new stratagems, weapons, etc. So massive kudos to them for balancing all of that and working as hard as they do on the game. It's a great game. If you have enjoyed this video in any small way, then please, as I mentioned, give us a like and maybe a subscribe. Everything goes towards Winston Churchill and his further education. It has been great to see you. Please join us live on Twitch or here on YouTube on Mondays to Wednesdays. The links will be down below in the chat. Until next time, we'll see you on the front lines, soldier.